That was a terrific college basketball game. UCLA is so hard to guard. I thought our defense was outstanding to hold them to 30%. They are so tough to guard. Our players played with a lot of heart, a lot of toughness, and without our best player. And Isaiah, we didn't find out Isaiah wasn't playing until this afternoon, and we feel very badly for him because he wanted to be out there with his teammates in this atmosphere. What an incredible atmosphere. Our students section, our marketing department's done a great job getting our students excited. The students are supporting us. We had just a tremendous crowd. I think that's why we were able to pull it out in the second half. It gave us tremendous energy, which we were lacking playing without fans a few weeks ago, and then 50%. So this was as good an atmosphere I've ever been. I've been coaching a long time, 27 years, since 1994 is my first job, Milwaukee Bucks, and this was as good an atmosphere as I can remember for a home crowd, especially our home crowd.
Andy, can you look at your chart and you say, okay, Boogie, 0 for 7, Chavez, 3 for 9. I don't have Isaiah, but you guys managed to play a scrappy game. Talk about the character of your team.
Well, this game meant a lot to our players. They knew it was an important game in the Pac-12 standings, the national standings, and it's a crosstown rivalry. They also knew that we have never beaten UCLA 5 times in a row since 80 or 90, 100 years ago. So this was a big game for us to try to, for all those reasons. And I cannot be more proud of these young men because of the effort and a lot of grit today. We didn't play the perfect game, but we played very hard and very tough. And so to defend and hold a dynamic offensive team like UCLA to 30% from the field is a credit to our guys, and very, very proud of them.
Andy, how do you explain these numbers? You get killed on the offensive glass, yet you dominate points in the paint.
I thought you were going to talk about that technical foul.
Well, we won't go there. I'll let you complain about that.
I'm not complaining.
These are some of the oddest numbers I've ever seen.
Hey, he called it.
Trust
Great
me.
call. What a great official. Great call. Look, the officiating was I thought they did a good job tonight. They let us play, a lot of physicality. I wasn't very happy about that call, at the end of a UCLA USC game on ESPN. But you know what? I respect the officials. They made the call, and we played through it. But obviously it didn't go all right. But our players, even after that, they came over and said the game's not over. We got to stay focused. And I will say I'm never letting Chavez inbound the ball at the end of a game before. He said he was bragging. He's from South Carolina. He's from South Carolina, and he said he was a football player, and well, he was about 30 yards off on that one. Okay, we were supposed to go deep, and he couldn't even get it to half court. Okay, and luckily the shot didn't go in, but one play doesn't decide a game. Our players played with grit the whole game.
Coach, talk about the play of Anderson. It looks like he had one of his better games. Although he didn't score a lot, but he kind of controlled the game for you a little bit.
I'm sorry?
Anderson?
Yeah, Ethan was so good tonight. He got to the rim. He had I don't think he had a turnover. 2 assists, no turnovers. Played 29 minutes. He made that big 3. Got to the rim, and he was so good defensively. With Boogie struggling tonight, with 0 for 7 with 5 turnovers, we needed a ball handler out there, and Ethan played a terrific floor game for us. He does so much for our team that doesn't show up in the stat sheet. He doesn't have to score big buckets because we got other guys that can do that. But I think he has 13 assists and 1 turnover the last 4 games. He's playing at a high level as a true lead guard, and we certainly need that.
Andy, it seemed like Drew was kind of on another level tonight. Did you just see anything different in him in terms of confidence coming into this?
Well, we were talking as a staff this afternoon once Isaiah was ruled out with his lingering concussion symptoms with the broken nose. We just said someone has to step up, and Drew certainly did that. Offensively, defense, he had 5 block shots, he had 12 rebounds, he did everything. So he looked like a superstar out there. He was so good. But the other guys, Max, this was his best game. Maybe as a Trojan. He was 4 for 6 from the field. He didn't even shoot a 3, but he had 8 points. Defended high-level defense the whole game. He switched off with smaller guys, bigger guys, and I thought his defense was a huge factor tonight. So, but all the guys, Reese Waters comes in the game. Boogie was struggling. We went to Reese, and he gave us 10 points off the bench, which is huge. And without your leading scorer, leading rebounder, Isaiah's second assists, second in blocks, and second in steals. So a guy that fills the stat sheet up. It took a team effort, and we're very happy for that.
2 games ago, Drew had one of his worst shooting nights ever. 2 games ago, bounces back with probably his best tonight. Did you have to work with him on his confidence coming off that game and getting?
Well, before the Arizona trip, he said he was leading the league in 3-point shooting, and then he went 1 for 6 and 1 for 13. And I said, well, now you're not leading the league in 3-point percentage. So we also said as a staff, we're kind of due for Drew or Boogie to have a good shooting night, and maybe Max or Reese or Ethan. We said kind of due for one of these. You can't do what we did last week. Boogie and Drew were 4 for 25 from the field, our starting backcourt against Arizona. And it was one possession game with a minute left. If we make any kind of shot, in fact, our 3 best players missed a 3. We called a timeout under the 4-minute media. And Ethan made a great pass. Isaiah Medley missed a 3. Drew missed a follow-up. Gets kicked out. Drew misses a wide-open 3, and Boogie missed a wide-open 3. So our 3 leading scorers missed wide-open 3s in the same possession on the road at Arizona. So tonight I was really happy for Drew, because when he's confident and he's playing with that level of intensity, he's awfully hard to stop.
Beginning of the year, you said that free throw shooting wasn't going to be a problem for this team tonight. They were 11 for 12. Chavez 4 for 4. And you also made the comment that if you're a young player, it was going to be hard to get playing time. Well, these guys are now chipping in at crucial times.
Well, if you've seen our bench grow, Kobe Johnson, Reese, Harry, how good was Harry the other night? He probably won the game for us. Harry was good tonight, and these freshmen are good basketball players. I've been saying that a long time, because I know some people didn't believe it. In fact, when Harry made the first 3 the other night, one of the officials turned to me and said, who the heck is that guy? Then he made his second and his third, and he kind of kept smiling. I was like, oh, well, that's Harry. So I think we have really good players on our bench. And now, they haven't been consistent, and that's why they're not in the starting lineup. But we just hope that out of the 5 or 6 guys on our bench, that if we can get 2 or 3 to play well that night, we're usually pretty good.
Andy, they had 18 offensive rebounds, but you limit them to 13 second chance points. What does that say about the defensive effort of your team?
Well, we just played really hard, and I thought the only negative part of our defense is we fouled Tiger Campbell in the lane about 6 times, and he's a smaller guy, but he's a great player, very crafty, and our bigger guys kept going for his fakes and fouling him. So that was probably the only thing we did poorly. And then we did have our hands on a couple rebounds late in the game where they just took from us. But our guys played as hard as they could. And UCLA is a really good basketball team. So it's not like you're going to dominate every statistic against UCLA. They're ranked 12th in the country, and they went to the Final Four last year. In fact, we went to Elite 8. It's pretty cool for the city. First time in the history of the March Madness to have UCLA and USC in the Elite 8 together last year. How cool was that? So these games are fun. These games are fun, especially when you win them. But the UCLA, they keep coming at you and at you and at you, and you just have to do your best. And so give them credit. They had 18 offensive rebounds and really did a good job on the boards.
Andy, when Tiger shoots that last shot at the buzzer, do you have a bit of a worry there?
Well, I was so upset at Chavez for throwing that pass that I didn't have time to. And then it was in the air. I was like, oh. Okay. But anyway, I've been coaching a long time, and I've been on the bench for over 1,000 games in the NBA and college, and so I've seen some crazy things happen, and that was a crazy thing. And I've also never seen a technical foul and a dunk with under a minute left in a UCLA USC game, but that was another crazy thing that happened, and so we saw a few of them tonight.
What do you think contributed most to holding Johnny Juzang to 12 points on 4 for 16?
Well, Johnny is an elite offensive player, and we just said, hey, we got to challenge everything he takes, make it hard for him, and he has to see us coming from all directions, and our players do a really good job of that. He's a special offensive player, and so anytime you hold a guy 4 for 16, that means we did a good job.
Coach, what makes UCLA so difficult to guard?
Well, they can score from everybody in the court. Every position can score the ball, and they do a lot of isolations. And when they isolate you, you have to play team defense, but you can't help too much on that, because then they kick it out to a wide open 3 or they dump it down. So you have to guard your man against this team. And I thought our players were up for the challenge tonight and did a great job.
You've been
So one
coaching
more.
over 1,000 games. Is this your most satisfying win?
No. I thought beating Kansas by 34 in the tournament last year was pretty good, and then beating Oregon to go to the Elite Eight for the second Elite Eight in 67 years is pretty good. When I was at Dunk City, we were 15 seed out of the Atlantic Sun going to the Sweet 16. That was pretty cool too. So was this a satisfying? This is an incredible win. Incredible. Without our best player on the court, in front of a packed house with all the excitement at USC, this was a big time win for us, and a very, very important win because of what it means to our basketball program, what it means to USC as a school, and hopefully we can get people excited again, because we went to Elite Eight last year and had the third pick in the draft and not one person saw us play, unless you went to Indianapolis in March Madness. So Evan Mobley was just one player, but he was a great player, but we had a lot of other guys who were really good last year, and no one got to see them play and appreciate them, and I felt bad for our students and our fan base, because here we are, we had a really good team last year, won 15 games in the league that sent 4 teams to the Sweet 16 and 3 to the Elite Eight. So our league was tremendous last year, and no one got to see us play. So this was a very, very satisfying win for a lot of reasons. Is it my best win ever? Not even close, but it's up there.
Thank you, Andy.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.